I got some questions. What is up? This is everyone's favorite Minx Couture. And, you know, I said I was going to start doing more of these because, you know, people are not treating the podcast world properly. You have these weird ass hot takes that nobody asked for. And, you know, some of us still have platforms, so we'll use them accordingly. However, I keep having these epiphanies and I just have to speak on them because I can't fucking do a cap cut for everything. I can't. I just have to do what I do best, which is hop on the fucking board and just start pointing out shit. Okay, so here we are. Let me just turn my mic down just a tad, because I'm not even on the mic. My mouth is nowhere near the mic. Anyway, Hollywood is on strike because they need to use the studios for the series finale of Earth. I thought of this. Mainly because I live in the Bronx, right? I live in the Bronx, and, you know, I was very confused as to why they built a Lionsgate Studios in Hollywood, Lionsgate in Westchester County, Yonkers, New York. Let me explain this to you guys. Okay. Yonkers, I've been saying this for such a long time that Yonkers is a portal. It is a portal that goes where I don't know. This would have to take like an arsenal of people who are into decodes to decode Yonkers and the darkness within Yonkers. But they put a Lionsgate TV studio, film studio. And my question is why? Because they did this in 2022. Because I'm sitting there saying, why did they do this? Why did they do this? But the reason why I'm bringing this up is there's a reason. I'm a reader. I like to read books. And I say that because you have some people that you know, they like to read, but they're just reading it because they have to, or they're just trying to enrich a certain portion of knowledge. I read everything you could think of under the sun, because I just like to know authors' minds and why did they create things the way that they did. So Great Point Studios created Lionsgate Studios Yonkers to satisfy the overwhelming demand for large studio space in the New York City area. Why? This campus is approximately 11 miles from Midtown Manhattan, which we know the waterfront property in Yonkers is just like, it's like you stepped into like a mini Manhattan. Okay. A lot of people that used to, you know, do Broadway and stuff, they had rentals there. So, you know, if you were a person that looked like you didn't belong there, yeah, Yonkers police would let you know, why are you over here? Okay. Couldn't be with the squad on that side. Okay. That whole area is protected. So they expected 1,000+ people working at this studio, which of course would create jobs, which is good. You know, no one's debating that. Okay. But here's what I find very interesting. So if you head over to cryptickingdom.com, we know about these claims that people are saying that Mountain Dew has been doing to do. They've been dabbling a little bit of dropping some knowledge about what is allegedly to come. Right. So they're saying that some of the drinks were named a certain way for a certain reason. This is the conspiracy that they have. So they say Mountain Dew is involved in a conspiracy theory regarding the cause of Hawaii's fires after users noticed the same of its tropical flavor, Maui Burst. Now, that's just a coinky-dink, right? It's a coinky-dink. That's not a coincidence. You know, I mean, that's not a conspiracy. This is a coinky-dink. They're bugging out. So, Dew, DEW, direct energy weapons. That, you know what? That's also a coinky dink, I believe. So they say that Mountain Dew fans assert that the popular beverage predicted the Hawaiian fires with its coincidentally named flavor, Maui Burst. I said that without fucking up. We have to acknowledge these things. I'm getting better. Okay, so the tropical drink is advertised as the original Mountain Dew with a blast of pineapple. Yeah. Yeah. I will definitely say that, you know, regarding what's going on over there in Hawaii, our hearts go out to you. Don't give no money to the Red Cross and these mofos. Don't give it to them. Give it directly to the citizens and the people that are really trying to help Hawaii, because you have individuals like the Red Cross and shit. They got their hands out and then they get a Lamborghini. They don't care. They don't care. All right. So listen to the people. Don't listen to the media. The media is obviously not telling the full story, where they're trying to convince you that less than these certain amount of deceased in this situation, because social media, you know, now that they're locking everything down behind a key, there's no telling. There's no telling. Okay. So let's look at some of these flavors. Did they go deeper than that, or was it just like a surface? Okay, let's look at some of these tweets. So as Dawes 5MUF, as in Frank C, says, what happened in Maui is by no means an accident, and this Mountain Dew direct energy weapons Maui burst flavor is definitely not just a mere coincidence. What? This actually looks very frightening, to be honest with you. Like that creepy tiki guy from Crash Bandicoot. Mountain Dew, Maui Maui Burst, Dew, again, direct energy weapon, coincidence, or predictive programming. You see, what I love about these conversations is that it's like a double-edged sword for me, because we've been telling you, and, you know, people like are always saying things like, oh, well, why do y'all have to keep saying that? And, you know, you should just be happy that, you know, people are waking up. And I'm just like, have you ever been in a situation where you woke up in the morning, you woke up in the afternoon and your whole family, they already had lunch, you know, they're chilling and nobody woke you up, or you woke up too late. So now you missed out on, you know, mom's pancakes with scrambled eggs and some bacon, and you missed out because you didn't wake up on time, and they didn't want to disturb you because you looked so rested. This is what this is. This is all this is. You know, I literally said I'm exhausted. The term wake up. I'm just going to tell people to stay asleep, because it's safer that way, you know? It will hurt less. So anyway, let's go back. Hold on, what was I? Okay, so they're talking about that, but they were going in depth into like all of the flavors that they have, and one of them I believe is like New York. They said something about New York. I think it's from the same person. Let's take a quick dive. So while I look for this, you know, I just think it's very strange that we keep saying that the world is on fire, and clearly it is. You have all these different places that are catching on fire that really don't have any business being on fire, right? The Space Force wants to use direct energy systems for space superiority. Another good one. Maui Space Surveillance Complex is a U.S. Space Force operating location for the 15th Space Surveillance Squadron and the Air Force Research Laboratory at Halelaka Observatory in Maui. It conducts the research and development mission on Maui space surveillance systems at the Maui Space Surveillance Complex, including the DoD's largest optical telescope designed for tracking and imaging satellites with visible and infrared sensors to collect data on near-Earth deep space objects. You know, they're really they're going in a direction again. They got the big toys. They have the big toys, and we don't. So how is this playing fair? Like, it's just not. It's not playing fair. Let me look under something else. Give me a second. Excuse me. Mountain Dew conspiracy. I'm just gonna say conspiracy. Watch, FBI open up. Because I want to find of the flavors. I saw that. And there was another story about Mountain Dew as well. I don't really like Mountain Dew. I never liked Mountain Dew. It just didn't do anything for me. It was like that false high C green of Slime Ball. I don't know if y'all remember. It didn't do it for me. It didn't do it for me. I'm going to say Mountain Dew. I'm going to say New York flavor. I should have came prepared with that, but yeah, I should have came prepared for that, but I'll add the link if I come across it. Search for it on Twitter. I should have just searched for it on Twitter. I know. I'm such an idiot. Yes, rest in peace to TweetDeck, because I'm not going back to y'all mofos. Absolutely not. I'm not paying for some free shit that's always been free. Shit. I hope I don't see anything that's like inappropriate. Let's go to latest. Yeah, this is weird. A Florida woman doused herself in Diet Mountain Dew to erase DNA after killing her roommate. Okay. Like, why would you? Something with this Mountain Dew. It's something with this Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew. I got to see what we got to pull up what the conspiracy is. I can't get it in 2 seconds, then I don't want to hear it. Okay. Now we know TikTok got it. TikTok definitely got it. They have a bunch of people breaking this down because a bunch of people are waking up. Dale, rest in peace to the actor that did Dale's voice. I'm not going to pretend like I know his name by heart, but rest in peace. Do I dare do media? Do I dare do media? It's not that much. Okay, so anyway, what the conspiracy with that was like, there were basically, like, it was different cities for these drinks. There was different cities named. It's just strange. And it's their hard flavor, the alcoholic beverage. Damn, Mountain Dew. We'll come back to that. I know I had it, but whatever. I want to go back to this whole Lionsgate Studios thing, and when I had said Hollywood's on strike because they need to use the studios for the series finale of Earth. I feel that they have the locations down packed, right? They have Georgia. They got that locked down. Now they got the New York side locked down. Okay. And what would possibly happen with these lockdowns of these studios, right? Watch this. So we are in Lionsgate is 8-8, right? We know what the Lionsgate is. It is a portal, a transition that happens in the spiritual realm. So I feel that every August they do a crazy ass energy harvest. And it's like I could sense it, especially when they show things repetitively. And I peep repetition, right? So what I noticed, even back to the crate challenge, it was in August. It was in August. Then you had the chair, the chair in that brawl, the Louisiana brawl. That was in August. So I like to look at what happened around the time of, you know, when they were energy harvesting like crazy, because also the 25th is like August 25th, Aaliyah was killed in a plane crash, which dropped our vibrations so low. So I'm like, you already know. As you see, what is the Lionsgate portal? Closes 8-8, which that portal did close. During the days leading to August 8th, blah, 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 leads you into whatever, blah, right? I love this picture. It's cute. I just want to see it blown up. So the Lionsgate portal is a relatively new energetic phenomenon born in recent years. It's a combination of astrology, ancient cosmology, and numerology, and channeling any specific celestial alignment hitting climax on August the 8th. Right? It helps you connect with higher levels of consciousness and et cetera, et cetera. So this is about an element of fire. It brings out the creative element of fire. We know what, you know, that is. Look at this, the checkerboard shit right here. You see this? You see this? This is how they get you. This is exactly how they get you. Yeah, sound a little choppy there, huh? So heavy shit is freezing up. Heavy spiritual manifestations at this time. So the Lionsgate portal, I laugh because when you go to Lionsgate, like I look at words, Lionsgate, they have a show, right? And this is hilarious. My sister called me one day and she said to me, I didn't know that you were on TV. And I said, when was I on TV? Like, I'm starting to get shook, like, because, you know, I've been pushing myself. And she's like, oh, yeah, they got a new TV show called Minx. I started laughing. I was like, okay, that's interesting. So, of course, Lionsgate produces a show called Minx, which is hilarious. So I kind of was laughing because I think it was back in 2021, I was going to get the domain minxcouture.com. When I went to go purchase it to launch my website on it, it told me that it was already purchased. And when I looked, and I'm still looking for the screenshot, I know it's on Instagram somewhere and I can't find it in my phone. I took a screenshot and it said it was owned by Lionsgate Entertainment. So I remember me posting this, and I just, you know, I don't really label anything like an idiot, but I'm going to show you guys how weird that was for me. Lionsgate. I said, what the hell does Lionsgate have anything to do with me? And then this is the show. So I guess they pretty much bought all domains that mirrored Minx in a way. Coincidence? It's probably a coincidence. Lionsgate, right? Very interesting connection right there, being that I've also lived in Yonkers for a period of time. So I know this for a fact. Ooh, you see here, slapping the mic. So, I thought of something. The Battle of Yonkers, right? I had come across this Battle of Yonkers conversation in the middle of 2020, 2020 around the pandemic, when people were talking about their fears of a zombie outbreak, and people were just like, yeah, y'all.
Bruh.
But yeah, I thought it's very interesting that they put a Lionsgate studio in Yonkers, and the Battle of Yonkers is about a large-scale engagement of a zombie war. I'm dead ass. The book was called World War Z, right? I thought it was just very strange, right? I was like, I have to read this book. Like, I have to know about World War Z, because we already seen a lot of X. So why not Z? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that was corny. So we're gonna go World War Z, okay? Now remember, that was a movie that had Brad Pitt. It had Brad Pitt. World War Z did not talk about, in the movie, they didn't talk about the Battle of Yonkers, right? And if they were really smart, like, they would make like a movie for that, because they didn't touch that yet. Oh. Is that what's going on here? Because, I really feel like something is connected with that somehow. Something is definitely connected with that somehow, because this is like, they have a whole fucking wiki page, a fandom page, a Zombiepedia page about this Battle of Yonkers. So let's read about it. The Battle of Yonkers was the United States military's first large-scale official engagement of the zombie war. It took place in Yonkers, New York, the largest city in Westchester County, just north of the Bronx, New York. The battle was an absolute catastrophe. If any one event could be singled out as a point where zombies officially became the dominant species of the planet, it was Yonkers. In the book, U.S. Infantryman Todd Winano, or Wino, my bad, narrates the events of the battle. Okay, so let's read about the events of the battle, please. The first zombie outbreaks of the war began in China and quickly spread across the globe. The spread of the zombies slowed during the winter of the first year, during which time the placebo vaccine, Phalanx, was released to the public, who still thought the new plague was a new form of rabies. Okay. During this time, elite special forces units known as Alpha Teams were covertly used against the undead in isolated infestations. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Let's get to where the hell they get to Yonkers. That's where I want to get to. Okay, what went wrong? Okay. The Battle of Yonkers was an unmitigated disaster for the military. Public confidence in them and the United States government was shattered, and this contributed heavily to the Great Panic that claimed the lives of many more Americans, right? This is very interesting to me, because this is saying that this was a outbreak because of our failure in our government to shut down or suppress or keep people safe. Sounds familiar, like recently, right? Sounds pretty familiar.
Bruh.
So, okay, so the Great Panic. What was the Great Panic? Because that's what I want to know. So, World War Z is a novel by Max Brooks. You guys might want to cop this, which chronicles the fictional World War Z, or zombie world war. Although the origin of the zombie pandemic is unknown, the story begins in China when an unknown creature bites a young boy who becomes official patient zero. The Chinese government attempts to contain the infection and concocts a crisis involving Taiwan to master activities. That's funny because these names have been in the news. The infection is spread to other countries by the black market, organ trade, and by refugees, organ trade. Many countries close their borders without inhabitants knowing it until an outbreak in South Africa finally brings the plague to public attention. Let's go back down here. The United States Army sends a task force to Yonkers, New York, in a high-profile military campaign intended to restore American confidence in their army. However, the military relies upon Cold War tactics, weapons intended to disable vehicles, and wounding or demoralization of human opponents. These have no effect on the undead that uses wave attacks to be shot in the head to be stopped and has no fear of death. And yeah. The nation is sapped of political will by several brushfire wars. What is a brushfire war? It is a military conflict, usually localized between two or more state or non-state groups, which is below the intensity of a conventional war. Okay. So...
Surprise, motherfucker.
Is that what Disease X is? I'm thinking. Right? They got Disease X. They already making a vaccine for this Disease X. They're saying, no, there's no disease called Disease X. But UK established a new vaccine research center. Oh, wait. I want to go back. This word here. Is Disease X a zoonotic disease? Right? What is a zoonotic disease? Oh, you AI motherfucker. I be searching. I be searching for shit. Disease X is a term used by World Health Organization to describe a hypothetical new disease that could emerge and cause a pandemic. So then why the hell are y'all saying that, no, there's no disease called Disease X if you're saying that the World Health Organization said that that was a thing? That's the shit that makes me laugh. So at the end of the day, what I have to say is this. It's important to pay attention to what Hollywood is doing sometimes. You know, y'all, and including myself, I'm like, oh, y'all keep a fuck about it, these damn celebrities. Well, I'm going to watch rich people and what they do. Just like if I take a lollipop and I run water around it and drop it on the ground next to a bunch of ants. If the fucking ants walk around it and don't want nothing to do with it, I'm not going to fucking eat out of that bag. I'm not eating that candy. Okay, if you take a fucking piece of meat and throw it at a dog and they sniff it and walk away, I'm not eating that fucking meat. So the same shit with these celebrities. If these celebrities are running for the hills, I'm going to fucking look at them and see what they're doing, especially when it comes to selling property, purchasing property, things that they invest in, political ideas that they invest in. I'm looking into that. That means something, because a motherfucker that is attached and obsessed with money is not going to let anything fuck up their bag. And that's the real truth. You have to watch rich people. You look at the stocks. Look at who's buying shit. Look at who's selling shit. Look who's liquidating assets. You have to look at all of these aspects with these rich folks. Because at the end of the day, what's going to happen is people going to wake up and realize that these people done harvested everything that they needed to harvest. And they left us with absolutely nothing as they burned the rest of the fucking world down. Who owns what? I remember seeing a TikTok at one point where a woman was able to prove that certain places that we think are businesses and shit are not owned by actual LLCs and entities. They're actually owned by government spaces, government entities that are disguised as other. So it'll be a pet shop, but it's disguised as a pet shop that's actually owned by a government entity. The LLC is owned by the government entity. Who owns what is the question. Why the fuck don't we own land? Why are we renting? Why are we renting? What are we renting for? If we have the capabilities to wake up as a community and see that this is a big ass battle of one thing and one thing only. This is a battle of biometric data. It is a battle of land, right? You got people selling their land because they see a couple of commas because they done fucked up the economy and you feel broke. The problem is that you feel broke. You're feeling it, right? No matter how much you budget your money, no matter how much you work hard, take extra hours, you're not seeing that shit. And the more we sit back and complain and cry about it on TikTok, it's not going to do nothing. It's not going to do nothing. When we go to a job and we don't do the job properly, we are expeditiously removed from that position. And the fact that you have people that sit here and look at what the fuck Beyonce's doing, what the fuck Nicki Minaj is doing, what Doja Cat is sharing these days, you know, at some point you have to say to yourself, how the fuck can you go to concerts? How the fuck can you attend anything that is fun right now or entertaining right now when the world is on fire? That's just me. Y'all could say I'm a broke hater. I am broke. Haven't you noticed? Haven't you seen the news? Everybody's broke. Everybody is broke. I paid all my bills and my bills is good, so I ain't broke. How much money you got right now? How much money you got right now? Did you have to choose between getting your hair cut and eating for the week? Getting your hair did and eating for the week? Transportation for the week? Are you taking from the like pot and not even having enough from the stuff that's a luxury pot, I call the luxuries and the necessities, right? Which pot are you taking from more lately? I guarantee it's the necessity pot, because you know that you need to eat. $150 barely fills a fridge these days, and motherfuckers is talking about celebrities. That's why they rolled out the 50th anniversary shit for hip hop. I'm like, I thought we celebrated this already. I know we didn't like formally celebrate it, but I thought we celebrated this shit already. Because I feel like I'm in a Mandela effect. I thought it was 50 years already. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm sleeping too much. But at the end of the day, you know, people's attentions is elsewhere. Can't force people to wake up. You can't tell people, yo, this is, you know, people that want to argue in the comments and shit. Oh my God, anything but this fucking song. Oh my God, hold on a second. Get this song out of here. Yes, please, get it out of here. Yeah, so anyway. Lionsgate. I think New York City needs to keep a close eye on shit. Remember? Look at your light posts. They're spraying. What are they spraying? They're talking about it's for mosquitoes. What mosquitoes? How the fuck do you release genetically modified mosquitoes and now you want to spray to keep the population down? That doesn't make any sense. That totally defeats the purpose of having genetically modified mosquitoes. So what else are you spraying? They want you inside the house by a certain amount of time. You sure they're spraying something? Are you sure they're spraying something? Why are they spraying something? I don't trust it. Keep your eye on your animals too when you take them for a walk. Take a look at their eyes and their nose, if their nose is runny. Because what if they are spraying something? What are they spraying? So you spraying from the sky, you spraying from the ground. So that means we have no in between. We have no middle ground. We have no fresh air, literally. You spraying chemicals. And then magically they're going to say that there's going to be another COVID uptick because that's what doctors have been saying, that people have been getting sick. But it's not really COVID. They don't know what it is. It's just a viral illness. I know my household was hit with it twice ever since the yellow smoke, but that's another story. Please stay tuned for another Wicked Observations. I know this wasn't really like a formal joint, but, you know, I had to do it. I had to do it. But yeah,